second thing tonight was just to go out and play really, really clean and communicate. I know there's a couple penalties, but I thought our guys, for the most part, played pretty clean. There's a couple things got to clean up. Didn't love the end of half series with our one offense. We were able to win the toss, defer, so we were trying to double dip coming out of the end of the half and the start of the second. So that's something we continue to improve upon. And the third thing was just to start fast and physical and finish the same way. And I got a lot of guys out there. I thought they all did their best to hold their end of the rope. So I'm super excited. Stayed pretty clean. I think health-wise, didn't have anybody of significance. So get this one to bed tomorrow. Kind of because of the holiday weekend, we can actually build a little advantage in with the work week on Monday and get a good jump on Duke. So I'm excited to get into this week. Obviously, a very talented team that won their opener as well. So we got a tremendous task on the road at Duke this week.
Assume his performance didn't come as a
Hey, Betty.
Yes.
Yeah, Hank's been obviously, I think even last year, I think, it's just a great example of how one thing affects another. He started to have some success in the punt return game, and it really helped him, I think, at the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver. And going into bowl prep last year, I thought I could see a really big jump, played well in the bowl game, and then all spring, just the confidence he had. And then to go out there today, it was funny. I was talking with the head coach beforehand, and Hank went right in front of me, and I'm like, I really like that player. He's from Rochester, Springfield, Illinois player, and he's like, yeah, we definitely want to punt to him. But they obviously punted to him and played extremely well. And there's a lot of really good efforts to get that ball in the end zone. Was really high level.
You break down the teach tape. I'm sure there's things that you want to clean up. What are some of the things that are top of mind?
For sure, the end of half. I mean, you only get so many of those pretty good end of half, end of game team, and that was our first live bullets, and obviously it didn't end well. I'd be the first to tell you, Luke, I told him, like, listen, you can't take that sack, man. Just can't take those sacks in those moments. So really good learning moments. In adversity, there's always two ways to take it. You can take it and, kind of put it in the back of your head and don't learn from it or grow. And I thought our guys, really owned half and came out and did some things. I love that Ethan Hampton came in and kind of ran the offense there at the end. You never know when his number is going to be called. I thought a lot of good guys were able to go out there and do some things. It's fun to see some of those freshmen get out there and run around. We hadn't planned on playing that many, but just the way the game played out and with a 4-game NCAA rule play, some of those guys, we got guys in there and played valuable reps. Yeah, Brandon Henderson was scheduled to start, but failed to show up on time for a meeting, so coach decided to sit him and had a very good live conversation about that. So take these teaching moments and make them bigger. Brandon both the Brandons have got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, but that right guard spot is something we continue to build on.
What do you think about Justin Bowick's first Power 5 performance? And, what kind of aspects does he bring kind of in the end zone, red zone area?
Yeah, J-Bo has been a really impressive kid, I saw him on film, but then I met him, I'm like, there's a lot to him, right? He's got a lot of great length. He's got a really good skill set. I know that him and Luke have, bonded well during the preparation. Big target, plays with a lot of speed, a lot of agility, and put himself in a good position there to build confidence with not only Luke in our offense, but also play callers. So I thought our wide receivers in general, I thought Colin Dixon, player for us, him and Hank are exceptional players. There's no doubt in my mind that Hudson Clement is probably playing as good a football as he's played down the stretch here the last couple of weeks. J-Bo, Alex Kapka-Jones made a nice play. Even Rio Sanders getting in there at the end, right? I think a guy that we're really excited about. So have a lot of depth at that position, but we got to focus in on guys that can make key plays and key moments.
Would you kind of set the tone early a little bit defensively with the third sack? If he can do that consistently, what difference does that make?
Gabe's a very gifted player, and I would say since we came back in January, he's always been a highly motivated player for success. But just everything he does right now, and then to see him get elected captain, I think that just builds even more confidence in him. And he obviously is a freak of nature, and now he's, I think, getting coached extremely well. I really like the tag team of Trent and Alex in that room, and now I brought in Joe Kim has really helped him in some of his pass rush stuff. So super excited with his skill set and highly motivated. He's a big playmaker. He's a guy that's never satisfied. It's fun to see his energy and his juice fall out to other people as well.
You said you play a lot of defensive linemen. Did you like what you saw out of the depth of that group?
Yeah, JMO's done a nice job. I thought, we had acquired a couple guys, James Thompson, Kurt Neal, told me have been really, really nice additions into the room. But Pat Farrell is probably playing as good a football as he's played. I was really excited to see Jeremiah Warren Biggs get out there. Angela McCall just popped in there. I think one of the big learning moments I had when I went to the NFL was just the depth and the rotation of the defensive line. I'd always been a guy that had kind of played our best players as much as humanly possible, but even with Johnny, seeing Johnny out there today was absolutely awesome. But to see those guys that are in that 300-pound club, to have them minimize their reps, right, and keep them under 40 is a really big deal.
Did you expect him to kind of load up in the box, so a lot of stuff around like
So the D coordinator had come from Valpo. We've been a head coach there, so we've been studying Valpo film he'd been there I believe 14 years, and so he's a really gifted coordinator. He'd done a lot of things in 11 and 12 personnel, so we kind of thought what we saw was what we were going to get. But yeah, I thought our guys really maintained strain. To go against that was out there and have those guys play as long as we did, I thought was really good work. And then especially in the second half, kind of grinded in there and see Caden and Aiden both, and Khalil Valentine get in there. Those guys are three very talented backs that all have a different skill set.
Did not play today. Jaheim Clark, what's his status?
Juice about 2 weeks ago popped a hammy. I don't know if we'll have him this week against Duke, but I think we'll probably have him for our third week, fourth week. But yeah, just a little soft.
What do you make of Khalil Valentine's? He got significant reps today.
Yeah. Khalil is a nice, for me, I call it a change-up. But, Caden and Aiden both have unique skill sets. I've said this before, previous life at another institution, I had some combos of 2 or 3 backs that were all different skill sets. A lot of people try to have cookie cutters. They all look the same, but I like a little variety. And as a defense coordinator, I always thought it was challenging when you had 3 or 4 different styles of runners in there, because every play looks a little bit different depending on the skill set. So Khalil get in there and pop one. I thought Aiden to get that hit at the end was really, really awesome. Caden Fagan, just to see him get out there and do what he does, dragging some people around, was pretty fun to watch. So I think those 3 guys could be a very, very tough trio to defend.
Brett, is there any update on Melvin Priestley?
Melvin Priestley. He's he played the whole game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed one of the offensive line.
Yeah, Melvin rolled up, but he went right back in. He played the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, he just got rolled up. They taped it, but yeah, he was good.
Standpoint between Luke and some of the receivers, what do you see as that developed through the course of the game, and how valuable are those reps?
What was Luke, 17-21? Kind of got everybody involved. I thought some of the perimeter throws, they were playing a lot of quarters coverage, so we knew there was going to be some things that opened up in a run play action game. But really, I don't think anybody. One guy just jumped out. I know he connected with us, especially some of the new faces. It was fun to see that, especially down in the red area. And I know Barry had some specific things he wanted to see. We obviously, once the game was in control, kind of contained some of the stuff that we've worked on, just to save that for the right moment. But overall, I couldn't be more pleased the way they ran it and catch it. I've been really showing them a lot of clips, 0 games, a lot of drop balls, a lot of sloppy football, and I thought our guys, overall played pretty clean here, which was a huge emphasis in this first one. Yeah, I know that he got meat on a double move over there, but it's a good learning moment. I'm excited about Caleb, see where he goes.
One more question. Did you get to watch Duke last night? What did you think?
I stole a little peek. It just happened to be streaming in my room. But I actually kind of tuned in, and I have a coordinator meeting with about 10:30, and I clipped it on. I think Wisconsin, it was like a 3-0 game, and so I kind of watched a little bit of that. Popped in a little bit of Duke in between team meetings last night, but I know a lot of our guys watched that film earlier today, and we're going to be able to put this one to bed tomorrow. Jump into a little bit of Duke preparation. I'll give them Saturday, and then Sunday they'll get the whole day to kind of prep, and then we'll actually come in and meet Monday afternoon.
Last one, you did obviously prove it, like those set number 1 guy. How important was it for JD and Bo to go out there and move?
Yeah, Hank and Luke have been working together for a while, but Bo, and again, Hudson Clement, I don't know if he had a catch, but he was out there getting a lot of live reps, and just to get that continuity and flow, I think, again, when we have numbers out there, that's a really big deal. And I'm super excited to see the growth in the film and see where we can take this thing.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Offering, Nick Beatty, Gabe Atkins, Miles Scott, what's J-Bo during the week?